This morning you talked about how they were going to play defensively, how they're hard to play against physically. They kind of lived up to that.
Yeah, they were great. Full credit to Syracuse. They were great. We weren't. They played it more like a playoff game, and hopefully taught our young guys a lesson about how physically demanding this division can be. They just were more physically engaged. They won way more puck battles. I thought we were fine in the first. Certainly in the second, they started leaning on us from a physical perspective, and we didn't have a good enough answer for it.
You keep throwing the word physical out. Was this the most physically imposing opponent so far this season?
Yeah.
Special teams, 2 power play goals, shorthanded goal for them.
Yeah, special teams was terrible tonight. Just flat out terrible. So that goes through, to the goaltending as well. Like, your goalie's got to be your best penalty killer, and Cools wasn't tonight. But our, PP's been awesome all year. Wasn't near good enough tonight. Had a couple chances in the first 30 minutes. I think 3 in the first 30 to give us momentum, to steal momentum in that game. Whether they score or not, doesn't matter, to steal momentum. And we gave momentum away on our power play, and then our penalty kill. You need to get clears. Like, if you stay in zone for 40, 50, 60 seconds, you're going to get scored on. It doesn't matter how well you execute. And I think both of the goals, we had multiple chances to get clears, and we couldn't get it down the ice, and then it ends up in the back of your net.
Did you feel like Cooley's goal with 22 seconds left in the second puts you within 2? Was there any feeling that could have maybe turned things around?
You never know how it's going to start in the third, but I didn't. When Mersch went out, I didn't like our bench. We were too quiet, and at that point as well, we're short. We're down. We had 11 and 7 to start. Now you're down to 10 forwards. One of which Nadeau's first pro game, and Slags hasn't played a ton yet. So that now those guys are rolling pretty much every third shift. So that definitely contributes to it as well. But we just didn't have enough consistency of winning puck battles to put us in position to sustain momentum. We might have a shift where one line would go out there and have a good shift and give us momentum, get a scoring chance or two. But then the next shift, we turn pucks over or lose puck battles, and then you're back playing defense, and you just give that momentum back away.
You see what happened with Mersch?
I haven't seen it. No update. It was out, upper body. And I haven't talked to the medical team since I was told he wasn't going to return for the game.
With Devin, he's probably on a high from getting to the NHL for a couple of days, and he was clearly upset with himself. How do you maybe make sure he gets back in a good place?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he hadn't lost a game in regulation up until tonight, so not worried about Devin. Tonight wasn't his best night. He fought the puck a little bit. There's a lot of rebounds. We didn't do a good enough job in front of him. We did not lose this game because of goaltending. We got outplayed thoroughly. Syracuse was great. They deserved to win. Cools was just, one of many tonight that didn't have his sharpest game.
You concerned about Mersch?
I don't have any information on Mersch. Anytime any player doesn't come back, I'm concerned about him. And when it's your captain, and you have as many guys out as we have right now, probably a little more so.
On the weekend, do you throw this game away and not look at the video, or do you?
No, we'll look at videos. It's too early in the season to not teach. We're teaching in between periods right now. Pretty much every game, in between games, we'll teach. It's just learn. We had a couple of weeks that was a little sloppy, but we were finding ways to get some points. We had a week of just excellent hockey, and we had a bad game tonight. And there's reasons for that. Some of them self-inflicted, but some of them that our opponent inflicted. And like I said, credit to them. So, we got 2 hard games coming up. So we got to prepare, and we'll watch some video and show some things that need to be shown tomorrow, and work to get better.
This is the first game so far in the regular season where you score less than 3. How does the offense kind of rebound from this slap in the face performance tonight?
Well, when you turn pucks over and lose puck battles, you can't play offense. So you don't have the puck. They had the puck, 65% of the time tonight. So you're not going to get offensive chances that way.
On the bright side offensively, Kulik, it's his 7th goal in 8 games. How happy are you with this performance so far this year?
He wasn't good enough tonight. So he's been really good to start the year. Tonight, it's especially with some of the guys we have out, and Byro's up, and you have some injuries to some key drivers on our lineup right now. And, this is the next evolution in the development of Rosane, Kulik, Savoy, those types of guys. Like last year, whatever Rosie and Cooley, and they had really good rookie years, but whatever they did was almost like a little cherry on top because the older guys were carrying the mail a little bit and they were learning how to play the right way. And they did a great job, became really good players in the second half of the season, the playoffs. Now they need to be our best players. That's a good thing. We intentionally in this organization don't oversign veterans to block those guys, and because they need that pressure. Just like Quinn and Peterka and Samuelson and those guys had it. There's no hiding for the youngsters. And so they need to perform not only in points, but in their habits and their competitiveness as drivers of our team. Tonight they didn't, and it'll be a good lesson for them to learn, and they'll be better on Friday for it.
How important is that lesson of you got to do it every night?
You got to
bring it every night. So get the next level.
It's a lot easier to be a secondary guy, and Mersch is expected to do it every night, and Murray's expected to do it every night, and Byro's expected to do it every night, and Rusek is, guys like that. And you're doing a really good job, but if you have an off night, those guys can carry the load through that, right? And now, no different than when Jack Quinn was in his rookie year, which was really the second year because the COVID year didn't totally count. If Quinner had an off night, a bad game, we were usually struggling to win or losing. And Cooley and Rosie need to be drivers of our team. And that's a healthy pressure. That's what we want as an organization. That's what they need to have. And tonight, they failed in that test, but that's part of it. And they'll learn just like they have for the last 13, 14 months, and they'll get better.
I know it's only been a week and 4 games or whatever, but how have you seen like Matt Savoy just adapt to pro hockey?
I think Matt's been really good. I mean, he's only had 2 weeks or 10 days with us last year at the end of the season, and you're not even really practicing at that time of the year because you're playing conference finals every other night. So this is really his first taste of it. I think he's competed hard. He's made plays. He's been really good. It's obviously he can stay, depending on what they do up top, he can be in Buffalo, but he can't be here. And it's too bad for his development because he just is getting better and better and better right now. The intention is yes.
What else has stood out? I know it's 4 games, but just what else has stood out about just the way he's played? He's found a way to create offense every game.
Yep, smart, competitive, plays fast with and without the puck. He's a guy that you want to play with if you're a good player because he hunts pucks, he wins puck battles, he can make plays with good players, but he can play with energy. There's so much to like about his game. So much. Great teammate, great work ethic. Couldn't say more positive things about what Savoy's doing here.
Obviously you guys had a lot of that front, so why did you just want him to just take things in for a couple of weeks? Why did he sit out since the first week or two?
Well, he's coming from junior hockey and he's just a little behind. And that's part of development. Development, this isn't just games. Development is how do you practice every day? How much time you put in the shooting room, the video room, the weight room, all of those things. And those things he's done in spades for the last month. And the practice habits, all those things are just way above what he was used to. And he's now trying to close that gap. You know, and watching guys like, you know, Michael Mersch and Brett Murray and guys like that go about their business every day is really important for his development. And he's kind of attached himself to Mershey, and he's in the shooting room, and after practice, he does skating drills with Mershey because, you know, both of them have similarities in that skating's not their strength. And so you have to make it not your weakness, you know, doesn't have to be a great strength, but it's got to be good enough where it's not a weakness. Because when Michael Mersch plays in the offensive zone, he's elite. And Nads is real good down low, below the hash marks in the offensive zone. He's a smart player. He's got a big body. He's got good hands. Made a couple plays down there tonight. He's just got to keep getting the competitiveness and the habits and the speed to a level that he can get to those spots more often.
Those habits are things you talked about this morning when it came to Brandon Byro and all the things he did well. He had 2 goals tonight in Buffalo on a silver lining positive. It's pretty cool to see.
I was thrilled. Just hard to, like, there's been, you're just so excited for any of your guys to go up. But, you know, with Quinn, Sammy, Peterka, you know, some of those guys, Krebs, it was a matter of when, not if. It was when are their habits going to get to the spot down here in their development that they were going to be there. But they were going to be there, you know, and I'm proud of them too, you know. But there's some other ones, you know, like Brett Murray wasn't a guarantee that he was going to be there, you know, so he got called up. Yeah, that was really special. When Casey Fitzgerald got called up, I remember watching that game on the road because that was not a foregone conclusion that he would get there. And Brandon Byro's just another one. I mean, he's been here for 3+ years, grinding and working every day with just amazing detail and habits that he's earned here. So to see him get called up, but then to see him succeed tonight, couldn't be more happy for him, couldn't be more proud of him.